Hi, hello guys. My name is Mia Marie and this video is all about sun and house overlays. So what does it mean if someone's sun falls into your first, second, third, all the way through the 12th? Before we hop into that, I briefly want to remind you that someone's sun is their ego, and just like the sun in our solar system, it shines a light, it illuminates, it solarizes that part of your chart. And so this can kind of show you how this person is going to impact you, how they are going to support you, what they are going to shine a light on. Okay, let's jump into it. When someone's sun falls into your first house, what comes to my mind is like, I don't know why I like you. I don't know why I trust you, but I do, and you're a friend to me. It feels like instant recognition. And from a psychological perspective, this is where the ego meets the soul. The rising sign is the soul, the sun is the ego. And so there is recognition that we're of the same song, we come from the same place, but because it's the sun, it's celebratory. We want to be light and happy. And there is this mutual receptivity of, I support who you are because in some way, shape, and form, I'm also supporting me. I don't think it comes off as being selfish, and I don't think that that is the intention when these two people are giving each other compliments. But there's this quality of, I want to be your cheerleader. I want to share the things that demonstrate to the world that this is who you are. So say, for example, your friend, I don't know, is selling books online. This is the person who would share the link. Or if someone is having a craft sale or makes things like with their hands and they sell it on Etsy, the sun person would be the person to say like, oh my gosh, check this out. Mutually supportive. And this could be for the better or for the worse, depending on the health and well-being of the person. But shallow, friendly, ego meets soul, I think encapsulates it perfectly. Sun in the second house. I have had this before with a family member, and this is the house of finances, like your personal income, confidence, values. And so the sun being here illuminates your areas of insecurity. This person could play an integral role in you feeling like you're good enough, or like what you're saying has some weight or gravity or pull to it. You could look to them for like advice. You might look for them in a room and be like, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Because in some way they're helping you work on whatever it is that makes you feel uneasy about your abilities. The second thing is it's easy for you guys to go into business together because you guys have shared values or shared interests. It's like God gave you the same gifts, and so it's easy to make money doing something together. So I would definitely not be surprised if in one way or another you guys find a way to generate some kind of income. The way that I see you guys spending time is doing things that are material. So going to get food or having each other over at each other's houses, going to a museum, being out in the park, something that is tactical. You know, kinesthetic is the way that you guys might communicate to each other through body language is something that I think is also quite common with this overlay. In sun in the third house is naturally ruled by Gemini, so we're looking at communication, perception, writing, talking, social media. This is someone who could be paying attention to and supporting how you show up on cyberspace. But I think more realistically, this is the person who holds the key that unlocks the door to the library that is your brain. Conversation can go on and on. You guys can juggle multiple different conversations at once, even if you do not naturally identify as an intellectual. This is a meeting of the minds. You guys bond over intellectual pursuits, and you can develop your ideas about the world together. We're thinking a lot when we're in the third house. This is also the area of our life that represents siblings and neighbors. So it's someone who's close, but again, not very intimate. But there is trust and also like a guru-teacher relationship. So you guys might go back and forth between who is teaching and who is listening, and then maybe at times both being teachers or both being students. Sun in the fourth house of home, family, lineage. It feels like this person is family. Like the moment that you hung out with them or the moment that you saw them, you knew that you had business in this very specific way. you come from the same spot. Even if it's like your backgrounds are so totally different, there is a sameness to you. There is a bond of this is safe, this is secure, this is comfortable. Your dates are at home. We don't want to leave the house. Why would we leave the house when this is our domain? This is our kingdom. You could also want to have kids with this person or talk about long-term goals as it relates to love and family. Someone who is here to be a part of your family, at the very least, if you guys are not interested in kids, but with this configuration, please. But if not, you know, or if kids just aren't in the cards for whatever reason, that is totally acceptable, then family is what you guys are talking about, thinking about, being about. Another way this may manifest is the sun person can behave in a way that helps the fourth house person come into contact with buried material, subconscious motives. They can unearth aspects of their personality that have been withheld from their consciousness. Because again, the sun is shining its light on the darkest part of someone's chart. When we are in the fourth house developmentally, we're still just absorbing whatever it is that we need in order to survive. And so you guys can also play this role of being each other's therapist, or feeling like we are psychologically focused on why we are the way we are in relation to our family or to our parents, or specifically the mother. Okay, sun in the fifth house, my father's side of the family illuminates this part of my chart, like all of them. They're all Geminis. And when I'm around them, I get this air of let's celebrate. Like, show me who you really are, let your hair down, dance, play, have fun, connect with joy. We're always having barbecues, listening to music, and that translates over to other fifth house connections where this is a moment of letting your personality shine and be seen. We just want to play. Now, as it relates to romance, it speaks to situationships, unresolved karma, not going to beat around the bush. This is someone that you've met before, especially if you have fifth house naturally in your chart. You're here to be a little bit like a honeybee going from flower to flower is how I'll name it. But anyways, even if it's an on and off situationship, like, you know, relationship, the flame doesn't die. So after you move on, it could feel like, I do still have love for you. I feel like we're lovers. That is the identity that I think I would assign to this area. There are some people who you're like, oh my God, you're my soulmate. You're my life partner. You are my husband. But with the fifth house configuration, it's like, you're my lover. When someone's sun is in your sixth house, they are highlighting the area of your life that's responsible for health, wellness, day-to-day routines. And so you guys might play an important part of each other's lives on a day-to-day basis. Like you guys met at work or you met at school, depending on where you are in life. And at the heart of the relationship is, I am devoted to you. I will show up for you. I will do whatever needs to be done to make sure that you are healthy and well. And oftentimes someone is unwell, or someone is moving through an illness, or they are destabilized physically, and it requires that one of you guys be the caretaker and one of you guys be the victim or the patient. And maybe the roles switch from time to time, but overall we're looking at nourishment. What are you eating? How often are you exercising? Your conversations will be about what is the healthiest thing to do, and maybe it's because you guys are literally combating an illness, or because that is just how they show up for you. For example, my best friend falls into my sixth house of day-to-day routines, as we've been talking about. And our whole relationship, I've been pulling her into sports, like try out basketball, try out tennis. When I was older and I was the director of a studio, I invited her to do workouts with me. And even now, the way that we bond is by taking hikes, and we talk to each other all day about health and wellness and shit like that. Sun in the seventh house. These are people who you're going to look at them and say, I trust you. I think I could be in a relationship with you. You're very different than me, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it because you see what I don't see. It's not romantic. It is the house of marriage and contract. So it could be business relationship, could be best friend. It could be a partner, a long-term partner. But there is like a mirroring process of, I am uncovering a part of myself that I didn't even know existed through you, through watching you shine. Now, there is a phrase, strong fences make for good neighbors. And so even though you may choose to commit to this person for the long haul, we're again not doing the deep dives. We don't want things to get too messy. Sure, we'll have a heated debate, but don't bother talking about like family stuff or any of that messier emotional, because it's naturally ruled by Libra. So it wants to be socially polite. So there is a tendency for you guys to sweep things under the rug because you don't want to disturb the relationship. Great for balance, great for compromise, great for marriage. But it is contractual in a way, not very soulful. And for some people, this is perfect, right? This is exactly what we want, the wise choice. Alrighty, when someone's sun falls into your 8th house of sex, intimacy, secrets, and shared resources, we can expect to do serious business with this person, be it literally or emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically. I've had this twice, both in a romantic relationship and in a business relationship. Very different, the themes manifested in very different ways, but they were both intense. In fact, one of them I don't even want to talk about, but I will. I'll go there. So in the romantic relationship, I was the sun person illuminating someone's 8th house. And it was just this feeling. I wasn't intentionally trying to seek out secrets. In fact, when we met, I didn't know anything about astrology. I was just beginning. But it was like, I smell a lie. I'm getting the hiccups. What is the thing that you think is so ugly that you're hiding it from me, and you're hiding it from the world, and maybe even hiding it from yourself? And it comes out between the both of you. Anything that you are trying to keep private, anything that you think is ugly or taboo, the relationship has this taboo feeling. People look at you guys and don't really understand where the fascination comes from. But this is the 8th house, naturally ruled by Scorpio. It's merging. When it's a romantic relationship, it is spiritually entangling, and it can arouse feelings of jealousy, possessiveness, and obsession in people who do not naturally feel those things. In my specific circumstance, I'm an Aquarius rising. This person had a moon in Aquarius. We were trying to be very logical. Like, let's talk about this. We can work through, like, let's just intellectualize what's happening. And even the Aquarian energy of wanting to be detached paired with this area of someone's life that is all about merging, it was not mathing. But the intention here is that you guys heal each other. Like, show me your ugliness and I'll show you love. And a lot of these relationships crash and burn because it's so intense. Scorpio makes people feel, or this territory makes people feel like, stop. Just stop pushing, stop talking about the thing that I don't want to address at this moment. And so even though there's a lot of passion and intensity and sameness, like looking into each other's eyes and feeling like there is a soul there, it is overwhelming, I think, for the vast majority of people. But it does plant this seed, I would hope, of even the ugliest parts of yourself are worth loving. And you can overcome whatever it is that you're struggling with behind the scenes type of a feel. In my business relationship, everything was mutual. Like, my name was on or both of our names were on all the bank accounts, properties, any investment that we made. And the contracts felt very airtight. So even to this day, even though I'm not currently with that business partner, I'm still getting like all the calls and the emails as if I'm involved because, again, the contract is so airtight. And it just so happens that this particular person I did business with, it was property, which is 8th house territory as well. Another relationship that has this very traumatic experience tied to it for various different reasons that I will not talk about. So, sun in the 9th house is about higher education, long distance travel. So this is someone that you want to explore the world with, someone who acts as like a guru, a guide, or a teacher. When this person speaks, you're like, ooh, tell me more. We're talking about big concepts, universally oriented concepts. You might find yourself thinking like, I want to travel with you. I want to see what it would be like to experience, I don't know, going to Stonehenge. I've been there before, but going to Stonehenge for the first time. We are focused on meaning making, and it is a very supportive, positive, larger than life type of bond. You guys might take turns teaching each other, but it's a relationship that instills or provides you with a lot of wisdom as it relates to life or your meaning of life. Sun in the 10th house, instant respect. You see them and you're like, ooh, I will bow to this authority. Even if you have authority issues, when the sun is in your 10th house, you're like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, and I need to listen to what you're doing, because your 10th house is about your career, your life mission, your purpose, your great work, and this person's energy, their ego, configures itself in such a way that is intriguing, to say the absolute least. And another way that this may manifest is that the house person has an instinctual knowing that the sun person is just a few steps ahead of them, or like miles ahead of them. And so there is a system, a structure, a vision that is easily accessible through partnering with this person. I will say at the same time, whatever happens in this relationship is likely to be seen by the masses, by community. This is a very loud relationship. Even if you want things to be private, even if you have other aspects in your chart that point to privacy, someone's sun in your 10th is like, they are going to make it known. When someone's sun falls into your 11th house, the first thing that comes to my mind is like, is this your best friend? Time and time again, I see this overlay where either your sun falls into your best friend's 11th house or their sun falls into yours. And it's because at the end of the day, you really enjoy who this person is. You get their goals, their aspirations, where they're trying to go. You might have met, again, in a group, social networking, or a big part of your relationship is focused on networking. You guys have the tools, the attention span, the resources that the other needs to get to where they want to be. And if this is a romantic relationship, it's not spicy, hot, or inconsistent. It's definitely unconventional, but you will still use the words like, this is my best friend. But your dates might look a little different, where you guys are going to events or concerts, or one of you guys has strong ties to a specific community, and so you're showing up to those events. Maybe being in service, maybe not, maybe just being in support. But they tend to last the test of time because Aquarius, the 11th house, Aquarius is best friend energy. 11th house is best friend energy. I'll just leave it at that. I am not even going to beat around the bush with this one. If someone's sun is in your 12th house, it is a relationship that brings a very unique energetic exchange. It's karmic, it's fated, there is something to be achieved, very obviously. I'm not here to be a negative Nancy, but the themes are a little bit heavier. It's wet blanket energy. So because it's the 12th house in Pisces, when you meet this person, it can feel like you have been in relationship with them before, you've known them in a past life, you've been intimately connected with this person. For example, I have the 12th house ruled by Capricorn. I was in a relationship with a Capricorn, and the moment I saw him, I knew that I had married him in a past life. That's how my brain works. Lo and behold, when I did our composite chart ourselves, and I was in the 7th house of marriage. So I was right. Anyways, and there's this familiarity. Like, I know you, I can tell this is an important relationship, but it often focuses on or hinges on healing another person, one person being a victim, or self-undoing tendencies being the bond, the glue, the topic of conversation. The sun person can see parts of the house person that nobody else can see because they're in close proximity. They happen to be at the right place at the right time. They know your secrets, and they have a better view on why you're doing what you're doing than you probably do. And so depending on the level of awareness of the house person, this can either be a really restorative and healing engagement, or it could be grounds for a brawl. Like, let's fight. How dare you say that? So you want to know if someone is in your 12th house, and you can feel it, because even though there is this focus on like addiction, affliction, healing, pain, familiarity, soul bond, you're looking at this person through rose-colored glasses. You know, like your judgments, your criticisms don't really stand the test of time, because you have that Piscean quality of forgive. And so you give this person the benefit of the doubt, even if they rub you the wrong way at the end of the day. Do I have anything else to say about this? The point of it, if I didn't already mention this, is to obviously unbecome. Come into contact with the parts of you that are rooted in wanting to give up, that are rooted in victimhood, martyrdom, and become the hero of your own life. And so when these people, if these relationships crash and burn, you often look back at them and be like, oh, it was because of this person that I see how I got in my own way. Or it was through my constant arguments with them that I realized that I was really arguing with myself. It's very super psychoanalytical. The high side of this is it is very dreamy and romantic, and it can feel like you have hit the jackpot. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's Pisces, right? Delulu is the ultimate Solulu. But it does feel a little shaky or hard to contain or hard to fully understand. And that is where I will leave you with that. So if you enjoyed this, do let me know, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to work with me, you can find me at wellandrising.com/services. Toodles!